Remember a couple weeks ago when I laid out all of these quilts that I needed or wanted to finish? I decided to start a new quilt instead. That sounds like me though, doesn't it? I'm Nikki, this is Pin Cut Sew, and in my defense, I did finish one of those projects. If you saw my video a couple weeks ago about my people quilt, that I finished all of the portraits into mini quilts and a pillow. And so that project is done and I'm checking that off. And so I think it's only fair that I work on something new. This is just what's singing to me right now. Actually, this spurned from that people quilt. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to keep going with the portrait gallery wall type of idea, and I really wanted to try some improv butterflies, and they turned out so cute. And then Layla saw them and fell in love and asked for a quilt, a bed-sized quilt. She has a twin bed now, so it won't be like huge or anything, with this concept involved. So today I'm going to show you how to make these improv butterflies, and then along the way sort of tell you what direction I'm going in with this quilt. So I'm really pretty excited about it. Also, one of Layla's longtime nicknames from when she was a baby was Layla Bug. My parents call her Layla Bug, and so ladybugs are kind of a thing for her, and so she would really like a ladybug in this quilt. But in the spirit of keeping it improv-y like I like to do, I'm going to try to improv some bugs and flowers, I think, and incorporate some improv-y blocks too. So first, let me give you a little improv butterfly tutorial, and then I'll come back and tell you what direction I'm going to go in, because I don't think I've done something like this before. Yeah, no, this will be my first improv quilt in this particular style. So let's get to the tutorial first. Okay, the first thing you need is a background fabric, and then you just need scraps. This is going to be very easy. I think you'll be surprised. For some of these, it's been really fun to use some selvage pieces, and so that's what I'm going to do on this one. I'm not going to use this though. I know my style sometimes is pretty bright, but I think she prefers the more muted tones, because the first two I made were these, and she really, really loves this one. So I'm trying to keep it a little bit muted, not too bright, not too jewel tony, but this is perfect. So first I'm going to cut my center strip. Put that aside, and then I think I'm going to do wings this time out of this purple. That's pretty cute. Let me go iron this. Okay, let me put my center, my butterfly body aside. And then you're going to need a background fabric. I have this is Kona Cotton Charcoal, and this is just what I went with for these, and Layla absolutely loved it. So I like this color a lot because it's called charcoal, but it has some blue in it. Kind of like if you're familiar with watercolor palettes, it's like the Payne's Gray. The Payne's Gray that's not just dark gray, it's a little bit bluish. That's sort of similar to this. Let me iron this piece too. Okay, so I'm going to cut some rectangles quite a bit bigger than I need them to be. My finished block height is 6 1/4, not because of any reason other than that's how the first one turned out. And so that's what I stuck with. You can choose any height, and they can be all different widths if you're making strips like mine, or you can add the borders at the end to make them a square if you need them to be a certain size. So now I'm just going to freehand cut. This is a doubled over piece of fabric. Freehand cut some wing shapes. So here are my 2 wings, and now I'm going to lay each wing on a background fabric like so. And then, because you're watching, I'll use a ruler. I'm going to cut on the top of each triangle, cut my background fabric to size. I mean, along the same angle as my triangle. Then I can flip this background fabric onto my triangle like so. And I'm going to stitch it just like this. And I want the end of it to hang off just a tiny bit for the seam allowance. Just spilled pins. Okay. Good thing I'm wearing shoes today. Okay, the next same thing. I'm going to pick up my triangle, align this angle that I cut onto it. It's okay that the solid overhangs. And then I'm just going to go stitch just like this. Okay, so I pressed that seam. Just pressed it toward the triangle, but you can go either way. And now I need to add the other side. So if you're using a print, you'll need to flip-flop these. But if you're using a solid like me, you just flip one over. Not like that. Not like this, because then it'll turn out an L shape. It needs to be like this. So you want your L shape here. once again, because you're watching, I will trim this off. And now I'm going to go stitch this to this side of the wing. And same thing over here. Trim that off. And this is the seam I'm going to stitch. Okay, so here are my two wings. Obviously, they look pretty wonky right now. But now I need to make my centerpiece. Let me iron this. My butterfly body needs to be at least an inch shorter than my whole block height. So I don't want to make it any bigger than 5 1/4 because my block height is 6 1/4. Let me just do a little bit of measuring. We're guessing like the strawberries in the middle. I think I'm just going to make it 5 inches. You can also play around with the shape of it. This one is a little wider and a little bit, it gets gradually bigger at the bottom. You can make short, you can make tall or long. It's fun to sort of play with the dimensions. To top my butterfly, I'm going to use these offcut pieces, and I want to sew one to the top and one to the bottom like this, and then I'll trim them down after. Okay, cute. Some people are so good at using selvages, but I have a hard time finding uses for them, and I'm excited to be using this because it's really pretty perfect. Okay, I'm going to trim this so that I have 2 straight edges. It's fun to just sort of mix and match wings. I do think it's better to make them pretty much even, so you don't want one to have a big point and one to be way over here. That would look less like a butterfly. Make these a little bit shorter of wings. In order to get them both kind of the same, cut this one about here. Don't worry about this waist because you saw me just use some of these offcuts to top and bottom my butterfly. Plus each block gets a border, so these strips do get used in other things. I feel like I have to say that because whenever I make improv things, people accuse me of being wasteful. It's just kind of the nature of it, you know? Okay, so now I'm just going to go sew these straight edges to these straight edges into a butterfly. Cute. Okay, so now I need to square it up to 6 1/4 inches. Let's cut it about here. I'm going to use one of the seams on my, I keep wanting to call it a stem, my butterfly body, to get a straight edge, but it could be crooked too. That would be cute if the butterfly were sort of flying at an angle. Okay, and my totally arbitrary decided height is 6 1/4. And then obviously I can't sew these onto something straight, so I need to shorten them until they're nice and straight. And there you have it. So if you needed to make a square butterfly, you would add borders on each end until it measured the same as your height. So in my case though, I'm just adding strips in between so that I can attach them with some space in here, some background fabric. Ta-da! Oh my gosh, that might be one of my favorites. So cute. Okay, I'm really excited to keep going, but let me just first take a pause and show you what I'm thinking about the design of this quilt. Okay, this is the very first quilt book that I ever bought, more than 20 years ago. And this is the book that taught me how to quilt because she just has instructions for all the different kinds of blocks in here. Courthouse steps, I tried every single one. I remember it was out of red and white fabrics. They weren't nice fabrics. I took a lot of shortcuts. I tried to do it on my serger. But I did learn. I learned how to quilt with this book. And it's called Sew a Row Quilts because the concept is to make rows, like my butterflies, and sew them together into a quilt design. So there's one quilt in here particular. It's actually this one. Let me see if I can find another picture. That Layla and I were looking at. Okay, so this must be the only picture of it. We don't want to do very much applique, I don't think, but we did like the sunburst on the top and bottom. We liked how it sort of goes in both directions. I think mine might be a little bit more symmetrical than this. So what I'm going to do is plan something for the center row, maybe some kind of flowers or something, and then I'll have like a row of butterflies here and a row of butterflies here, and then I'll just keep going by building rows and then putting a border on it. And I think that is what I plan to do. What I really want to practice is making improv anything. So for example, this is a flower that was painstakingly pieced out of a book called 180 Patchwork Quilt Blocks. The book is very cool, but it does not give you instructions. Let me show it to you. So there's all of these quilt blocks you can make, but all there are is measurements. So I wouldn't call that the most user-friendly. You're gonna really have to work for it to make these blocks. So what I wanna do instead is use the concepts, but make them wonky. So make a wonky 9-patch with a stem and a pot with wonky half square triangles. Does that make sense? So that's the kind of thing I'm going to try. I also have a book by Liza Taylor Handmade of applique flowers and stuff. Where is that book? Let me show you that one too. It's this one, Paper Pieced Quilt Blocks. And she has a ladybug in here too. So this might be helpful for me to get the general shapes. Look at the mushroom. Like here's some flowers that I could maybe make more improv-y. Ooh, like this one, that would be pretty easy. So this is kind of where I'm going with this. I like the stems idea. And then of course my Gwen Marston books, The Liberated Quilt Making. She has some very fun ideas. I'm going to use like the baskets with the basket handles. And then on Layla's Flower Garden quilt, I had made some vines with petals. So that's sort of all in the works. She not only wants this background fabric, she also wants like a lighter color like this peach. This is a bird block, but this is the peach I used for the last quilt I made her. So let me keep going with the butterflies, and then maybe I'll be able to spark some ideas for the next row. I made all of the butterflies I need for one row, and I have a hot tip. If you're going to make a quilt like this, a lot of times when I'm quilting without a plan, I will just make things at will and then hope that I can work out the measurements for the next part. And I cannot tell you how many times I've ended up with a prime number that I can't logically fit any like actual block into evenly. So then I always have to ad lib. So this time I got smart. And since I'm making a twin size quilt, which can be anywhere from like 65 to 70 inches, I'm going to have borders. So I made it a little smaller if I make like 5 or 6 inch borders. But I made sure that this strip and every strip going forward is going to measure 56 inches, because then I can make 4 or 8 inch blocks that fit evenly into the width of it. So not like this, these blocks are all different widths, and I made up the measurement with these little sashing pieces, and then I could make the end pieces whatever size I needed in order to get it to 56. But on the next part, I might want to make like 4 patches or square and squares or something that can be 8 or 4 inches finished, and then it will all fit together sort of perfectly. So if you're gonna quilt like this, I do recommend coming up with some kind of measurement for width beforehand. Okay, so now I'm going to make a second row of butterflies. I don't know yet what I'm gonna put as a centerpiece, but these butterfly rows will be one here and then one towards the bottom, or on the bottom half. I hope that makes sense where I'm going with this. Okay, this is as far as I'm gonna get for this video, but I will keep working on it and filming as much as I feel like, or as much as I can. I think my plan is to make a center row that's sort of like the centerpiece. So I was looking through this book some more, and I really like this tulip block. I specifically like what she did with it right here. I like how they sort of look like flowers going in all directions, so I'll probably try to implement those somewhere and see where that takes me, but I really love it so far. I love this choice of background color. This is the Kona charcoal. I don't know if I said that already. I think I did. And luckily my Hobby Lobby sells it, so it was easy to get more of it. And yeah, anyway, tell me what you think and if you're gonna try some butterflies, because I'd like to know about it and I'd love to see them too. Yeah, I'll see y'all soon. Bye. I just remembered something really important to tell you. Remember when I was going on about making the rose 56 inches? Yes, that's true, but I forgot. This is something I've done wrong with quilt math before, and this kind of was an epiphany recently. The end pieces need their seam allowances. So actually my row is going to be 56.5. So then when I make 8-inch or 4-inch blocks to go all the way across it, this end piece gets to keep its seam allowance. So if you're making rows to be divisible by something, remember that's the finished size. So you need the end piece seam allowances. So when my blocks, my 8 or 4-inch blocks go in here, their unfinished size is actually 8.5 or 4.5. So when you sew them all together, this seam allowance needs to still be there. So there, I'm glad I did not forget to tell you that. Okay, now I'm really leaving, bye.